Well, hi there. My name is Clint LOVES. I have a PhD in biology as well as other degrees in biology and zoology. With my wonderful wife, Lehi, I run an educational biology outreach center called Clint's Reptile Room in Springville, Utah. Here in a few weeks, we will have our Clint's Reptile Academy summer camps for all ages. And there may be a few spots left. If you want to hop down in the description, we'll try to get you hooked up. When I have time, I teach biology at the university. And always here on the YouTube channel, Clint's Reptiles, where you are now. But today is a dark day. Because I thought I was done reading these terrible books. But then some friends of mine, or people I thought were my friends, decided to give me another one. This one. These are so punishing. Honestly, after reading The Ultimate Ocean Rumble, I couldn't get myself to do another one for 6 months. And it's only been 5 months since I waded through the slightly less terrible Ultimate Dinosaur Rumble. But I guess we're going to go ahead and do the Ultimate Jungle Rumble. And honestly, I'm concerned. I mean, none of the other books had something right on the cover that didn't belong. No pterosaurs on the Dinosaur Rumble. No camels on the Ocean Rumble. No frogs on the Reptile Rumble. But we've got what appears to be a spotted hyena and a black mamba right on the cover. Both of these animals occupy a lot of different habitat types. Spotted hyenas even used to go up into Europe and Asia. You find spotted hyenas and black mambas in pretty much every habitat type except for super dry deserts and jungles. So I'll be excited to see how they justify that decision. And this is probably the longest I've ever spent looking at the cover. And I gotta say that the quality of the art in these books far outshines the quality of the content. I think this is actually often the case with children's books, but I don't think I've ever seen such a wide gap before. Really, the only one where the art is a bit disappointing is the Dinosaur Rumble, where the source material would be, well, it wouldn't be photographs of living animals. But this Rob Bolster, he seems to be a really good artist. So the other day, I had the most awesome dream. So I had just blown a hole, a giant hole in the moon. And then I was a gigantic squid. And I came into the city and I was going to destroy the city next. And there was just this one little dude standing in my way. And then I woke up and I was just like, that was the greatest dream I've ever had. If only there was a way that I could commemorate the moment and like have a conversation starter so other people could know what I had experienced. And here it is. Sure, look at that little guy. He's not going to stop me. But maybe you're not into giant squids. Maybe you're into just sort of like more normal-sized killer octopuses. Or this really quite rad lion if you like other kinds of nature. Or a tortoise with a tree growing out of its back. Or a rad owl. Or maybe you're not so into all the crazy animal shirts and you just want to spend some time on another planet. Into the AM has got the shirt for really whatever you want to present to the world that day. And they're super nice as well. These shirts, they're like, I don't know, they're super soft, just the right kind of thickness. To me, if I'm going to wear a t-shirt, and I wear t-shirts a lot. It's surprising because I wear a shirt and tie whenever I'm teaching and when we make these videos. But the rest of the time, if you find me, I'm going to be in a t-shirt. And it has to be one that's comfortable and that really says something about me. That is, it projects what I want to project to the world. And this is a vibe. Will, who's part of our team, has been wearing Into the AM shirts for a long time, since a long time before they started advertising with us. But today, they're sponsoring this video and, well, they've got an awesome opportunity for you. Because they have a huge library of really unique and just really, really fun, high quality shirts. And you can grab these with a special deal right now. If you use the link in the description, you will get 10% off. I mean, let's look at some of these designs. They're crazy and they're amazing and wonderful. They've got everything from subtle to bold, so you can really pick something that matches how you feel. Shirts that look great and almost feel even better. So just click the link down in the description and get 10% off today. Now let's get back to the video. Well, I think I've filibustered long enough. Let's do this. The ultimate jungle rumble. And we've wasted no time getting to the hyena. I appreciate that. Okay, so we have a hyena versus a monitor lizard. 16 jungle creatures gather for a bracketed competition. The rules are simple. If you lose your match, you're out of the contest. Who will win? First off, one of the things I noticed, this does look to be a spotted hyena, which is it's the largest of the 4 species of hyenas. They're one of the bone-crushing hyenas, which means that they have just incredible bite force. They're a legitimate threat to lions, and they can totally hold their own in a fight with a lion. I'm not seeing any sort of an explanation for what a spotted hyena is doing in the jungle, but one has apparently wandered into the jungle and is now gonna fight some unnamed species of monitor, which I'm looking at the pattern, could be a Nile monitor, but they're a lot longer than 5 feet, and I mean, this is too dark, and that tail shape is all wrong. How about it standing on its hind legs, which is something that you tend to associate most particularly with Argus monitors, though every monitor, as far as I know, can do it. But this is definitely not an Argus monitor. It really didn't look like any kind of Australian monitor to me. Head and tail shape are kind of wrong for an Asian water monitor, even though it's similar pattern. I don't really know what this is. If you know what kind of monitor this is, please let me know down in the comments. There are like 80 different species of monitors, and now I kind of want to make a video about all of them. But I don't think it matters too much, because there's not a 5-foot monitor in the world that will win a fight to the death with the spotted hyena. I'd say his only chance is a fight to the ouch, or if it can somehow dislodge a rock and have it fall on the hyena's head. I just realized there is a mamba probably in this tournament, and I know that chuckwallas don't tend to live anywhere near the jungle, but given that there's a hyena, bet that mamba is sweating. Okay, so this fight pits reptile against mammal. The monitor lizard is rugged and tough, but it may be no match for the hyena. I was really hoping we would get a better look at the monitor here before it would lose to the hyena, but this isn't going to help. But anyway, the hyena knocks the lizard over and bites a chunk out of it. The hyena wins. Yeah, fair enough. Hyena wins. Okay, gorilla versus black mamba. They didn't waste much time getting to those two not so jungly creatures from the cover. I have my doubts that they will explain the mamba, but let's see. What's the difference between venomous and poisonous? When you bite or touch an animal and get sick, that animal is poisonous. When an animal bites or stings or stabs you, injects venom and makes you sick, that animal is venomous. I really don't see any problem with the facts that have been presented just yet, except for like the fact that there is a black mamba in this book. As I'm looking a little closer, like I think this is actually a photograph of a gorilla with just a black mamba drawn on it. I hadn't noticed that they use photographs really before, but anyway, interesting. Might explain why the art is so much better in all of them, but the dinosaur one, no photographs to use there. Okay, but this is a big male gorilla. He's going to be like 400 to 500 pounds. He could definitely kill a large snake. It says here that the intelligent gorilla knows the black mamba is dangerous. I don't know how he would know that. There's no reason that a gorilla would have ever seen a black mamba before. But primates in general are pretty nervous around snakes, and mambas can flare out their necks, kind of like their cousins, the king cobras. And black mambas will also open their mouths, showing the black interior, like we see here on the cover. That's actually where they get their name, black mamba. And so they can look very menacing, and of course, they are menacing. A black mamba bite could easily be fatal, even for a large gorilla. So this could go either way, in my estimation. These books, in general, seem to favor venom. But I love gorillas, and I think gorillas are the chuckwallas of monkeys. Yeah, you heard me right. So I'm going with the gorilla. Oh no. Yes. Oh my goodness. This pleases me so much. Okay, when I saw the mamba here, and I assumed that it had won. But I was right. Gorillas are the chuckwallas of monkeys. This makes me so happy. And I don't think I've ever spoken those words while reading one of these books. Okay, so the gorilla picks up a heavy rock and drops it on the snake. The gorilla defeats the snake. I honestly almost mentioned that I thought that the gorilla would keep its distance and throw things at the snake. And I could not be happier with this result. In fact, I couldn't be happier with this result on so many levels. And I'm saying that as someone who loves snakes and did once have a gorilla throw a large object at me. But anyway, I am in a good mood. This book is all inside out. I usually have no problem with the cover. The covers are usually totally fine. And then the books make me question my reason for being. This one was all messed up on the cover and then has so far filled me with great joy. And even at the expense of 2 rad reptiles. But still, gorillas are chuckwallas. Oh, fraptious day. Oh, I can't get over that. That is the most wonderful thing I've ever seen. Sorry, all time, Mambas universally smashed by rocks in Who Would Win books. Greatest thing ever. Okay, anyway. Capybara versus Poison Dart Frog. The good times keep on rolling. We got 2 jungle creatures for once. And, you know, the reality is as long as the capybara just steps on the tiny frog and doesn't attempt to, like, lick it to death, this one's going to be capybara every day. So let's see here. Capybara is the largest of all rodents. They will fight a poison dart frog. Capybaras have webbed feet. The frog is small, but watch out, it's poisonous. Hey, you're continuing to keep poison and venom straight. This is such an amazing book. I love it. Frogs do not have claws or toenails. That's true, unless they do have claws. That's pretty much the only exception. All right, let's see how this goes. Uh-oh. So, the fight begins. The capybara is usually friendly with other animals. Today it has a problem. How can it win? Biting the poisonous frog will kill the capybara. Heavy capybara rolls over the frog, squishes it, and wins! The capybara fur protects it from the frog's poisonous skin. It'll move on to the second round. Well, okay then. That is an interesting approach. Honey, would you kill this spider for me? Oh yeah, I'll be right over here. Let me get that for you. It's A-way. By the way, please don't kill spiders. Just take them outside. But all right, what do we have next? Peacock versus Bongo. Well, there's a heck of a fight for you. At least they're both in forests. Okay, the peacock in this contest, it's a show-off, not a fighter. The peacock has sharp claws. Will its colorful display of feathers help it or hinder it? The peacock is matched against the bongo. The bongo is the largest antelope, lives in the jungle. It can weigh up to 900 pounds. The smallest antelope is the royal antelope. That's true. Tiny antelopes are wonderful. We need a video about the antelopes soon. But as for this fight, this peacock should just fly away because he's going to get destroyed. The peacock flashes its tail feathers, stares down the bongo. The bongo is not impressed, as it would not be. So the peacock flirts with the bongo. Bongo lowers its horns and tramples the peacock. I told you to fly away. Amazing the peacock feathers didn't work. Who would have guessed? So to this point, a reptile or amphibian has lost every fight. And yet, despite how much I love those creatures, I'm still pretty happy with this book. It's incredible. Okay, so red panda versus warthog. The next matchup is a red panda against a warthog. The red panda is an herbivore, an animal that eats mostly plants. A red panda usually lives in the forest where bamboo grows. Now that is true, though I wouldn't describe where it lives as the jungle. though it is closer to a jungle than the woodlands, grasslands, and savannas where you'd find warthogs. Jungles are some of the most biodiverse places on Earth. Was it really that hard to come up with 16 animals that live in the jungle? Anyway, okay, the red panda is the cutest animal in the book. It looks like a cross between a toy, a raccoon, and a house cat. Okay, well, the reality is that a warthog is a terrifying creature that fights lions, and a red panda is the cutest animal in this book. So this is warthog all day. Holy cow, oh, it's like Kung Fu Panda. Woo! Okay, the warthog and the red panda fight. The warthog has nasty teeth and is more aggressive than the red panda. That's it. I don't know if anything actually happened to the red panda, but warthog's more aggressive and has nasty teeth. We could have seen that from a distance, but apparently Kung Fu didn't do it. Red panda's out. And that's probably the right outcome. Weird fight. Okay. Oh, and by the way, red pandas are actually the true pandas, and the bears are just false pandas. Okay, so green anaconda versus mandrill. All right, so just right off the bat, I think it's time for Reptile to win something. That's not to say that a mandrill isn't a terrifying creature. It is a terrifying creature. They have big, terrifying teeth. They're impressively large. But the green anaconda, no matter which species, is a huge snake that would definitely prey on a mandrill if it had the element of surprise and was on the right side of the world to encounter a mandrill. And at least both of these animals are found in jungles. So that's something. Okay, so let's see here. A snake is against a monkey. Green anaconda is one of the largest snakes. The mandrill is smart, stares at the snake. The mandrill takes the situation seriously. Okay, so it looks like the anaconda does not have the element of surprise, which definitely makes this harder, but I'm still going with the anaconda. The fight begins. The mandrill hopes it's strong enough to bend the snake's neck. Interesting. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. The snake is too tough. Snake grabs the mandrill. The snake's many muscles work together, squeezing tighter and tighter. The snake is heading to the second round. Okay, so fair outcome. It says, let's see, the anaconda is a constrictor, which means it squeezes until its prey can't breathe. That's not actually what happens, though. I don't know when this book was made. 2018. So I think we knew this in 2018, but we haven't known it for very long, which is that constrictors don't kill by suffocation. They don't cut off breathing. And in fact, if you watch a constrictor eat something, like, it starts swallowing something way before you could choke something to death. Well, strangle something to death. Choking is an obstruction to the airway, but way before you could strangle something to death, they're already eating it. And eating something that might come back while you're eating it and recover, that's not a good plan. And so what they really do, we've learned, is they stop the blood flow, causing animals to go into cardiac arrest. And that kills things much more quickly. And so, anyway, that's how that goes. And so, anaconda wins. Totally reasonable. Okay, leopard versus okapi. This is nice because it's two more animals that are found in the jungle. So it's really not that hard to find jungle animals. The leopard is one of the greatest hunters in the animal kingdom. It is sneaky, strong, and has powerful jaws and deadly claws. The okapi looks like part giraffe and part horse. It is a plant eater, but it can defend itself by using its huge size and kicks. Okay, so just for the record, the okapi is a giraffe. It's the hagfish of giraffes, but they are giraffes. They're not closely related to horses at all. And it's not necessarily saying that it's closely related to them, but it's not saying that they are giraffes, and they are. One good kick from the okapi could break the leopard's jaw. A broken jaw would doom the leopard. That's very true. This is genuinely a pretty hard one. Both of them have the tools to win this fight. I would wager that leopards kill okapis more often than okapis kill leopards, but leopards actually don't tend to attack prey this large. So this is probably not something that happens all that often, and mostly just because the okapi is pretty dangerous prey. Of course, some big cats laugh in the face of danger. I guess there's those hyenas again. The leopard sneaks up behind the okapi. The cunning leopard avoids getting kicked. It bites the okapi's hind leg. Ouch! Now the okapi has trouble walking. Well, uh-oh. Already said ouch. Okay, the leopard jumps on the okapi's back and bites. The okapi is losing blood, limping and bleeding. The okapi puts up a fight, but eventually loses. The leopard moves on to the second round. just for the record. Big cats tend to kill either by closing off the trachea and doing what was claimed for the anaconda, or by crushing the back of the neck and the skull, which makes living very difficult. Oh, and I will mention just real quick, this is a male okapi. Unlike other giraffes, only male okapis have ossicones, which are the little horns that aren't actually horns, but we actually went into pretty great detail about them in our recent Lego video. But overall, leopard wins. It's a pretty reasonable outcome. This book isn't great. And if the dinosaur book has taught us anything, it's that these books can start okay and still end terribly. But it's really not bad so far. I'm excited to get back to the gorilla. Let's call him Chuck. And just for the record, we have the perfect shirt for Chuck. Check this thing out. We'll have a link to where you can get your own down in the description. Also summer camps if you want to hang out this summer. But we have one more battle in round 1. Anteater versus Sunbear. It's a bear. It may be the smallest bear, but that spot that they have on their chest, that's still a warning to tigers not to mess with it. That said though, like the claws on an anteater, they're serious. It could definitely kill a sun bear. I think there have been occasions where anteaters have killed jaguars, so, you know, it can happen. And the biggest anteaters are bigger than the smallest sun bears, so it could go either way. But again, my money's on the bear. You know, and I'll read it anyway. Okay, so it's the last match of the first round. A giant anteater will fight a sun bear. The anteater eats insects. Its long, sharp claws rip open ant mounds, so the anteater can snag the ants with its long, sticky tongue. Beetles versus bears. There may be millions of different species of beetles. There are only 8 species of bears. That's true. And we have a full video about all of the bears. Though millions of beetles might be an exaggeration, and we don't have a video about all of the beetles. But we do have a video about every single species of bear, and it's awesome, and you should watch it next. The anteater's long tongue will not help in fighting the sun bear. Yeah. The sun bear walks over to the anteater and slaps the banana-shaped head. The anteater's tail is long and bushy, but it can't hurt the sun bear. Take that, banana face! The bear attacks in force, punching, biting, and stomping on the anteater. The sun bear gets a minor scratch from the anteater's claws, but that's about it. The sun bear defeats the anteater. Sun bear wins. Man, he really focused on that face. All right, we've made it to round 2, and somehow life hasn't lost all meaning. To be honest, like, that ocean rumble, it legitimately broke me. I guess I'm not sure if like the books are not quite as bad or if my expectations are just so low now, but I don't think I've had a problem with any of these results so far. All right, hyena versus gorilla. The hyena is ready to fight the gorilla. The gorilla has a weight advantage, about 400 pounds versus about 200 pounds. The gorilla is the stronger animal, and that worries me in these books, but I know better than to bet against a Chuck Wallace, so go Chuck. Okay. The hyena tries to bite the gorilla. The gorilla outmaneuvers the hyena. Like a wrestler, the gorilla puts the hyena into a headlock. Okay. The hyena's scary jaws are not in a position to bite the gorilla. The gorilla swings its body around and uses its weight to pounce on the hyena. The hyena is in trouble. Gorilla wins. Let's see, I've seen victory by ouch. I've seen victory by your opponent closes itself in its shell and refuses to come out. But this is I think the first victory that I can remember getting just because the other guy is in trouble. But there we are. Okay, way to go, Chuck. Bongo versus Copybar. All right, Bongo. The Bongo is back after defeating the peacock. Heck of a first round. It must face the Copybar, which defeated the poison dart frog. These guys, they just had the easiest first round ever. Anyway, you fought a peacock, you fought a poison dart frog. Let's see here. Horn fact. Bongo and rhinoceros horns are made of keratin, a protein that's an important part of hair and fingernails. Antlers are bone. That's true, That's also a bit misleading though. So rhino horns and bongo horns are not alike. Rhinoceros horns are made out of keratin, like through and through, they're just keratin. And interestingly, as part of conservation efforts to protect rhinos from poaching, they frequently tranquilize rhinos and saw off their horns so that poachers won't kill them for their horns. And you can do this without causing any measurable harm to the rhino. This would be a lot harder to do with a bongo because while their horns do have a hollow keratinous sheath, the core is bone. In many ways, bongo horns are more like antlers than they are like rhinoceros horns. But there are some significant differences between those as well. Anyway, the rodent must use its sharp front teeth to survive. Or it could jump into a river and outswim the bongo, but there's no water around. So it could flee if there was water, but there is no water. The bongo is thinking, I could use my horns. True. Yeah. So the Clint is thinking the bongo's going to win. The bongo lowers its head near the ground and runs at the capybara. The capybara jumps out of the way. The bongo tries the tactic again and again. The bongo keeps on missing, but the capybara is getting tired. Eventually, the bongo hits the capybara and causes damage. That's it for the big rodent. It is defeated. The bongo moves on to the next round. Honestly, not a bad outcome yet. Go Chuckwalla. Alright, Warthog versus Green Anaconda. This match features a mammal against a reptile. Legs versus no legs. No, 2 legs. It's a boa. 2 animals have already won their way to the jungle 4. Now the Warthog faces the Green Anaconda. The Warthog is faster and the Anaconda is stronger. The Warthog has sharp teeth and tusks. The snake has small teeth, but a strong squeeze. Does the snake want a ham sandwich? Maybe the Warthog should just run away. I will tell you, a Warthog is a very intense pig. But anacondas will happily eat pigs. The reptiles really didn't do very well in round 1. And I think we need one in the final 4. So I'm going with the Anaconda. Okay. Trying to decide how to defeat the snake, the Warthog wanders too close. The snake uses its teeth to grab its prey and wraps itself around the Warthog. Uh-oh. That is how they kill their prey. And the snake slowly tightens around the Warthog. Eventually, the boar can't breathe. Again, that's not how constriction works, but I suppose it can't breathe, maybe because it went into cardiac arrest and died. Okay, so, last battle of round 2. Leopard versus Sunbear. Leopard. But it would be close. Sunbears, again, they do fight tigers. But mostly they just climb trees and go to places where tigers can't follow. That said, leopards are better climbers than tigers. And leopards are still larger and more formidable than a sun bear. Not many people think of a sun bear as a ferocious animal. Its favorite foods are honey and insects. The leopard is known as an excellent hunter. Weird color fact, most black panthers are leopards or jaguars with no spots. So black panthers are usually leopards or jaguars or other cats with hypermelanism. Black panther is just a name for a hypermelanistic big cat generally, and when it's a leopard or a jaguar, they've still got spots. They're just much darker overall. So it's like a black cat with spots. This makes it sound like it's a big yellow cat with no spots, and that's not at all what a black panther is. After the fight, the jungle 4 will be set. So far we have a gorilla, bongo, and anaconda. Which animal will join them? Again, leopard. The sun bear is strong and has sharp claws, but it is no match for the shifty cat. The leopard uses its paws to keep the bear off balance. Tiger is the world's largest cat. Next largest are the lion, the jaguar, and the cougar, and then the leopard. Okay, a jaguar and a leopard are similar and can be difficult to tell apart. It's true, the leopard bites the bear. Repeated swipes and bites take their toll on the sun bear. The leopard moves to the 3rd round. Leopard wins. Okay, good. This is amazing. I don't think I have ever agreed with every contest before. I don't think it's even been close. Are we going to have the first perfect bracket? Okay, the jungle 4. Round 3 has begun. 2 African animals are in the same semifinal match. Fur against fur. The gorilla will fight the bongo. The two animals stare at each other. The bongo notices the gorilla's huge muscles. The gorilla sees the bongo's horns and large body. At which point they mutually agree to ignore one another and they continue eating plants and being delightful. But I think, okay, so if one of them is going to drive the other away, it would probably be the gorilla. So I don't think anybody needs to die here, but my money's on the gorilla. It is an unusual fight. The bongo considered running away. It has no interest in the gorilla. The gorilla grabs and twists the bongo's hind leg. The gorilla is strong. It switches to the front of the bongo, grabbing its horns and twisting its front leg. Grabbing its horns and twisting its front leg. All right. I don't know how that works exactly, but it's nice to see that this is a gorilla rodeo. Go Chuck! You got this! The bongo has trouble. The gorilla tips over the bongo and crashes to the ground. The gorilla pins the bongo and wins.
Danger.
Gorilla wins. Chuckwalla! Chuckwalla! Alright. Green anaconda versus leopard. Here's a fight that fans have been waiting for. Reptile against mammal. The anaconda from South America versus the leopard from Africa or Asia. Do you know the anaconda's eyes and nostrils are on the top of the head, allowing it to see and breathe while most of the body is underwater? That's all true. The anaconda is not poisonous or venomous. The snake can't wait to wrap itself around the big cat. But the leopard is a skillful hunter. It wants to kill the anaconda, then drag it up into a tree away from all other hungry predators. So far we got the perfect bracket, but this is a hard one. So leopards eat big snakes, but not this big, because there aren't any snakes this big in Africa or Asia. And anacondas eat big cats, actually bigger than leopards, but they also sometimes get eaten by those same cats. I would say it'll really depend on who has the element of surprise. In this case, I would take the anaconda to be the more likely to get the element of surprise. So let's see. The fight starts. The leopard isn't afraid to approach the snake. Looks like there's no element of surprise here. The cat knows right where the anaconda is. At this point, knowing that, I would go with the leopard. The leopard starts nipping and annoying the anaconda's tail end. Bite, run, bite, dodge. Whenever the snake gets close, the leopard dashes away. It moves closer to the snake's midsection. The leopard has a strong jaw. Bite, crunch, shift away, bite, bite again, run. The snake is losing blood. It no longer has the energy to encircle the leopard and try to win. The leopard goes in for the kill. It bites the anaconda in the head. The leopard is heading to the finals. It sees the gorilla nearby. Leopard wins. Okay, so for a second, I thought this leopard letter was going to strike again. But anyway, the leopard has won. My perfect bracket is ruined, or at the very least, there's a big asterisk since I changed my vote late. But here we are! Championship match. The leopard leaps on top of the... Geez, okay, so I didn't have time to... They just started going. Okay, the leopard leaps on top of the gorilla. The gorilla uses its muscular arms to bat the leopard away. The leopard bites at the gorilla, but the gorilla grabs the smaller animal by the neck. The leopard retreats. They fight back and forth. 4 legs versus 2 legs and 2 arms. Claws versus nails. Spots versus no spots. Cat versus ape. This is a fight we've been waiting for. This is the fight we've been waiting for, not just a fight. Okay, so in reality, leopards hunt gorillas. So I think in all of recorded history, there is one instance of a gorilla actually killing a leopard, and the gorilla died also. At least that's my understanding. So this fight is something that happens in the wild, and the leopard always wins, or virtually always wins. This book has been pretty good when it comes to the outcomes of fights. But, I mean, like, this is a predator. It's natural prey that never defeats it. It's not too late to have a man-o'-war kill a leatherback sea turtle, if you get my drift. But, you know, even though this wouldn't be quite as absurd, and you know how I love gorillas, but I'm sorry, Chuck, I'm pretty sure this is the end of the road for you, but I'll always love you. The gorilla gets tired of fighting, but it's smart. It sees a big log and picks it up. As the leopard charges, the gorilla swings the log and smacks the leopard, breaking some bones. The big cat is in trouble. Well, I didn't know he was going to have a bat. Okay. But, okay, so the gorilla's got a bat. Okay. Now that a gorilla picks up a heavy rock. Is this really happening? Okay. Now the gorilla picks up a heavy rock and drops it on the wounded leopard's head. He gets freaking chuck-walled. Are you serious? Okay, the fight is over. The gorilla wins. The gorilla may have won, but it hopes it never has to fight a giant cat again. He did what no other gorilla in recorded history has done. And he did it. He did it in the best way ever. Chuck. Oh wait. I'm now we all have to get this shirt. I'm wearing it tomorrow. The gorilla wins. They broke my asterisk perfect bracket, and I could not be happier about it. These books are so stupid, and I have 3 more. So be sure to subscribe and click the little bell so you don't miss that. I've heard one of these is the worst one of them all. But today I'm going to revel in the joy of predicting that the gorilla is the chuckwalla of monkeys. As always, like and subscribe, and we hope to see you real soon. That's the best thing ever. I cannot tell you how pleased I am by this. He chuckwalled the leopard, chuckwalled the mamba. Yeah. Chuckwalled, I mean, how often in the history of everything have you ever wandered around in a rainforest? You've wandered around in a rainforest. Mm-hmm. How often did you even see a rock?
They don't have rocks.
There are no rocks.
It's mud.
It's mud, dirt, no rocks.
Yeah.
It's too much leaf litter falling and decaying on top of any rocks. They're way down. There's no rocks.
He found 2.
He found 2. He found 2. Used them to... Oh, I could not be happier about this. Could not be happier.